Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Nice to meet you. How have you been? I hope all of you are in a good condition. And how's your PHBTS results? I hope all of you get a good score, as good as your effort. And before we start our learning, I would like to inform you something. For this second half term of this first semester, you will study both of English, general English and also English literature with me. And I already asked the information about your last material of general English, and it is about invitation. So for this meeting, we will study about analytical exposition. Actually, there are two kind of exposition, but in this first semester we will study for analytical exposition. Jadi ini adalah pertemuan pertama kita untuk pembelajaran bahasa Inggris wajib bagi kelas 11 IPA 3, kelas 11 IPS 1 dan kelas 11 IPS 2. And di pertengahan semester ini, setelah kita melalui PHBTS, Ami sudah menanyakan beberapa hal kepada gurumu yang sebelumnya. Kalian sudah belajar sampai invitation. So, we will continue our material to analytical exposition. Actually, sebenarnya you will study two kind of exposition, but we will study first about the analytical exposition. To make you clearly understand, I have made two kinds of content. The first one is Microsoft Word content, and then the second one is PowerPoint contents. I will explain both of them because I made it a little bit different. For the Microsoft content, it is more complete because I put all the material here, but for the PowerPoint content, it's only a brief material. I just put the point in this PowerPoint, so I hope you will listen my explanation carefully in order to understand all the material well. Okay, let's start our learning process. Okay, wait. I will look for the PowerPoint inside my Google Drive. Just wait, yeah. Okay. Okay, now let's continue to the explanation here. The concept of analytical exposition text. So all the material here is actually just a general one, because in the next meeting you will study more about the lexical, grammatical, or language feature. Oh yeah, you will study this material for 4 meetings because I think it is a little bit difficult for you as a new 11th grade student. So I will teach you in the 4th meeting. Okay, now let's continue. The first one is about social function or purpose of the text. Yep. Actually, analytical exposition text is a kind of text that elaborate the writer's idea about the phenomenon surrounding. In bahasa, Jadi kamu akan membuat teks ini ketika kamu mau mengelaborasi ide kamu sebagai penulis tentang fenomena yang terjadi di sekitarmu. Ya, that's why the social function or purpose of the text here, kalau kamu perhatikan, the first one is to persuade the reader that something is the case. Jadi kamu membujuk pembaca artinya seseorang yang membaca sebuah teks analytical exposition itu untuk mengetahui sesuatu yang sedang terjadi. And the second one is to persuade the reader that the idea is important matter, yaitu kamu membujuk atau mempengaruhi pembaca mengenai sebuah ide yang merupakan hal penting. Jadi kamu mengarahkan, mempengaruhi para pembaca itu untuk meyakini bahwa sesuatu ide yang telah kamu sampaikan dalam teks itu adalah hal-hal yang penting. Okay, and the third is to persuade the reader by providing some logical arguments. Yeah, so in your analytical exposition text, you have to provide some logical argument. Jadi kalau kamu buat analytical exposition text, kamu harus menyediakan beberapa argumen logik untuk mendukung bahwa ide kamu itu penting atau sesuatu yang terjadi itu penting. Okay, that's the social function or purpose of the text. So it's same. If someone talk about social function or purpose of the text, it's actually the same. Jadi sama aja antara social function dengan purpose of the text. Okay, now let's continue to the generic structure. Now look for the generic structure. Analytical exposition text has three generic structure. The first one is thesis. The second one is argument, and the last one is reiteration, or we can call it conclusion. Jadi struktur teksnya ada tiga, yaitu thesis, argument, dan reiteration atau conclusion bahasa lainnya. Biasanya ya usually in analytical exposition text you only have one thesis. Kamu hanya punya satu tesis, and then for the arguments atau pendapat, you can make it more than one argument. Ya, the more argument you make, it can strengthen your exposition text. Jadi semakin banyak argumen yang kamu buat, itu akan semakin menguatkan ide yang kamu paparkan. And the last one is reiteration atau yang disebut dengan conclusion atau kesimpulan. Okay, and then we will continue to the complete explanation about the thesis. Thesis have three important parts in the analytical exposition text. The first one is the opening remark. It means you have to write your thesis in a good way. Why? Because from the thesis you can catch the reader attention. Jadi kalau dalam sebuah analytical exposition text, kalian harus membuat tesisnya semenarik mungkin. Kenapa? Untuk menarik pembaca, perhatian pembaca. Jadi kalau dari awal dia sudah membaca tesis kalian itu dengan baik, atau paragraf pertama kalian dengan baik, maka dia akan tertarik untuk membaca paragraf-paragraf selanjutnya. Oh ya, oke. I forget something. Thesis usually or maybe always in the first paragraph. Jadi tesis itu akan selalu ada di paragraf pertama. Okay, now to the position atau posisinya, yaitu to introduce the topic and indicate the writer position. Jadi di dalam tesis kamu memperkenalkan topik yang ingin kamu bahas dan juga untuk mengindikasikan di mana posisi penulisnya. Apakah dia agree or disagree with the topic. Jadi apakah dia setuju atau tidak setuju dengan topiknya, kamu dapat melihat posisi penulisnya di tesis. And then the third is about preview, to outline the main argument to be presented. Ya, sebelum kamu menuliskan argumen-argumen kamu di paragraf-paragraf selanjutnya, di paragraf 1 kamu hanya akan menuliskan kerangka utama argumen kamu untuk dipresentasikan atau ditampilkan. Okay, this is the example. I'm sorry, maybe because I put it in the drive, so the written form is a little bit messy. Maaf, agak berantakan. But something important is I have made it in the three colors. Miss sudah buat dalam bentuk tiga warna. It's blue color, red color, and also the green one. Okay. The opening remarks, you can see here, it is the opening remark. What is mean? In this opening remark, you just say something in the general. You haven't said about something that you really want to discuss. I mean, you want to expose in your paragraph. Jadi kalau di opening remark tuh kamu hanya menuliskan hal-hal umumnya yang dapat menarik perhatian si pembaca. And then for the thesis one, it is the red color. Nah, yang berwarna merah inilah tesis utama kalian. Okay, saving money in a bank benefit people in various ways. Nah, jadi yang diwarnai merah ini adalah tesis utamanya. Artinya, di dalam tesis pun kalian tidak langsung menuliskan ide pokok utama yang ingin kalian bahas dalam teks. Kalian harus tuliskan dulu beberapa kalimat-kalimat pengantar sebelum kalian menyampaikan tesis kalian. And then the last one, the green color yang warnanya hijau, it is something that you will give the preview atau kisi-kisinya yang akan kalian bahas di argumen. Jadi setelah kalian berikan opening remark atau seperti kata pengantar di paragraf kalian, lalu yang keduanya adalah kalian tuliskan tesis utama, yang ketiga yaitu kalian tuliskan previewnya atau kisi-kisi kira-kira argumen-argumen seperti apa yang akan kalian tuliskan di dalam teks kalian. Okay. Now let's come to the argument. Okay. If you have some question, you can ask me in the blog. Remember ya, ask me in the blog. Don't ask me privately, because if you ask me privately, the other student will not know what did you ask to me. Okay. And then now we talk about the argument. Argumen atau pendapat. Each of the argument must have something that you have to remember before you write your argument. Jadi sebelum kita menuliskan argumen, sesuatu yang harus kalian inginkan, sesuatu yang harus kalian ingat adalah, the first one is point. Jadi poin apa yang mau kalian tuliskan di dalam argumen kalian atau pendapat kalian. It's mean to restate main argument, outline it in a preview. Ya, jadi kalian harus menyatakan ulang argumen utama kalian yang sudah kalian tuliskan di preview. Di preview itu di mana letaknya? Yaitu di paragraf pertama di tesis. Jadi kalian tuliskan ulang di argumen utama kalian preview yang sudah kalian tulis di paragraf utama yaitu di tesis. And then the second one, if you want to write down the elaboration, to develop and support each point or argument. As I said before, seperti yang Miss katakan tadi sebelumnya, bahwa argumen dapat dituliskan lebih dari satu. Dan setiap paragraf argumen di kalimat utamanya atau di awal argumennya kalian harus menuliskan poin, tuliskan ulang poinnya. Lalu di kalimat-kalimat selanjutnya kalian bisa mengelaborasi atau mengembangkan dan mendukung setiap poin atau argumen kalian, terutama dengan fakta-fakta yang ada. Ya, so it's better if you complete your argument with the fact. Ya, harus dengan fakta. It's the example. Ini contohnya. It's argument 1. We talk about remember, we talk about saving money in a bank benefit people in various way. Jadi teks ini membahas tentang keuntungan menyimpan uang di bank. Ya. Argumen yang pertama, dia mengatakan first, by saving money in a bank, leaving home for hours is not a problem. Look, lihat, dia akan menuliskan kembali by saving money in a bank. Why? Because karena di paragraf tesis tadi, di paragraf pertama, dia sudah menuliskan saving money in a bank. Jadi tidak boleh keluar dari preview yang sudah kalian tuliskan di paragraf tesis. Okay. The red color is a point. Jadi ini poinnya, hal utama yang mau disampaikan. And then the purple color, warna ungunya, ini adalah kalimat pengembangannya. Feeling worried of losing money due to until the drawn away. Ini adalah kalimat pengembangan dari point. Okay. And also for the argument 2, it's same. Don't forget to write down or restate your preview. Second, a crime can be avoided. Jadi argumen keduanya juga sama ya di paragraf kedua. Oh ya, student remember, ingat-ingat kalau ketika kalian menuliskan argumen, it's better, lebih baik one paragraph, one argument. Jadi kalau kalian menuliskan paragraf, satu paragraf, it's better to write down one argument. Jadi satu paragraf, satu argumen. Okay, it is the point. And then this is the elaboration for the purple color. Argument 3. So it is the argument 3 atau argumen ketiga, pendapat ketiga. Dia akan menuliskan ulang, restate ya, restate your preview. Finally, the amount of money in the bank may increase. It is the red one, it's mean the point. For the elaboration, it's the purple. Okay, I hope you understood well. And then let's come to the last generic structure of analytical exposition. It's about reiteration or conclusion, ya, atau kesimpulan. For the reiteration or conclusion, to restate writer position, to restate the thesis by using different words. Actually, it is just the review. Ya, ini hanya pengulangan. So you just restate your position. If you as a writer, you just restate your position, which is your agree or which is your disagree with the something happening nowadays. Jadi yang di paragraf terakhir atau di kesimpulannya, fungsi utamanya adalah menuliskan ulang posisi kamu sebagai penulis ya, mengenai hal yang sedang kamu bahas. So actually the first paragraph or thesis and the last paragraph or the conclusion, it will be same, but you will write it in the different words. Tapi kamu akan menuliskannya dengan bentuk kalimat yang berbeda, tapi memiliki inti yang sama. For the example, reiteration or the conclusion. Although saving money in a bank is not very popular, this way should be reconsidered as it offers people to keep their money safely. If you read here in the conclusion and the one in the thesis in the first paragraph, it actually same, just different in the word, but if you read it, it have a same meaning. Jadi sebenarnya ini akan memiliki makna yang sama, yaitu memberikan pendapat bahwa sebetulnya menyimpan uang atau menabung di bank itu lebih aman daripada di tempat lain, meskipun tidak populer, tetapi harus dipertimbangkan. Okay, now let's see the infographic here. I have drawn. It is a topic, jadi yang di tengah, in the center is topic, ini topiknya, and then you made one thesis. Remember, in one analytical exposition text, only one thesis. You can make more than one, it's only for the argument. Jadi yang bisa dibuat lebih dari satu itu adalah argumennya. Ya, in every argument, restate your preview, and then elaborate it. Jadi tuliskan poin utamanya, baru kalian elaborasi atau kalian kembangkan. And next it's reiteration or conclusion. Yep. Now we come to the last slide. It's about lexicogrammatical features, or we can say it as a language feature. Many of you maybe know it as a language feature, but some of the students or some of the teachers out of Indonesian say it lexicogrammatical feature. It's actually the same. I just write some of the language feature here. If you wanna read the complete one, you can read in the Microsoft Word content. As I said before, I only made some point here because I thought that it's not really important to make it so complete. You can read by yourself in the Microsoft content. The first one is focusing on human and non-human participant. So it means you can make your analytical exposition text is not only about the human, but you can write it also on non-human participant. Jadi kita bisa buat analytical expositionnya tidak harus manusia, tetapi juga hewan ataupun tumbuh-tumbuhan atau hal lainnya. Tidak selalu focusing on human, but also can focusing on non-human participant. Okay. The second is using simple present tense, because analytical exposition is talk about something is happening nowadays, so it means it is in our daily life. Kenapa kita menggunakan simple present tense? Karena dalam analytical exposition text, kalian membahas sesuatu yang sedang terjadi sekarang, sesuatu yang terjadi di lingkungan kalian, di sekitaran kalian. Karena ini berupa fakta, maka tenses yang harus kalian gunakan adalah simple present tense. Remember, simple present tense using verb 1 or verb s. Using relational process means it's a little bit same as a causal conjunction atau kata hubung. And also nominalization, it means there are some words it's actually noun, but you can it's actually verb, but you can made it as a nominal, tapi bisa digunakan jadi nominal begitu. Okay. If you still don't understand, we will come to the other, yeah. If you still have some question, we will come to discuss about the analytical exposition by the Microsoft Word contents. Okay, let's see. Okay, wait a minute. I still need a time. Okay, this one I made it more complete as I said before. Okay. Okay. So this is the definition. Exposition is a text that's elaborate the writer's idea about the phenomenon surrounding. Jadi seperti yang Miss katakan sebelumnya, jadi kalau ketika kamu membuat eksposisi teks itu berfungsi untuk mengembangkan ide penulis tentang fenomena yang terjadi di sekitar. Okay. Purpose of the analytical exposition, the first one is to attempt to push the reader to believe something presenting one side of the argument. Jadi fungsinya untuk mempengaruhi si pembaca menjadi satu sisi kesetujuan dengan si penulis atau pendapat si penulis. And then to reveal the reader that something is the important case, untuk meyakinkan si pembaca bahwa yang kamu sampaikan adalah hal penting. Next, the generic structure it's same. The first one is thesis, argument, and reiteration or conclusion. In the thesis, you have to introduce the topic, indicating the writer's position. Remember, in the thesis, you have to write down 3 main point: opening remark, thesis, and preview. Okay. In the argument, don't forget to write down the points and then elaborate your idea. For the reiteration or conclusion, you just restating again the writer position in the first paragraph or in the thesis paragraph. Okay, I have written here. I have written down here some note. For the thesis, you can start your paragraph by using I personally think, in my opinion, I believe. And then for the argument, it's more easy. Yeah, I mean it's easier for you to write down first, second, furthermore, in addition, the last before you state your argument or your point. And then reiteration or conclusion, you can state your conclusion by write down in my conclusion based on the argument, yeah, and etc. It is just for the example. Contohnya saja, kalian bisa tuliskan hal yang lainnya. And then for the language feature, I read some of the language feature here. It is more complete. The first one is SAM, focus on generic human, non-human participant. For example, car, pollution, literature, and another. Yeah. And use abstract noun. Abstract noun, it means kata benda bentuk abstrak, yaitu kata benda yang hanya bisa dibayangkan di pikiran, but you cannot touch it. Tapi kamu nggak bisa sentuh. So it means use abstract noun. Yeah. For example, policy, government, peraturan, pemerintah. It is abstract noun because you cannot touch it, ya, just in your mind, karena hanya ada di dalam pikiran, ya. use a relational process. Example, it is important, relational process. So, jadi kamu menuliskan beberapa hal proses yang berhubungan. Okay? And then connective or use of internal conjunction to state argument. We use conditional conjunction. First, secondly, then finally, and evaluative language, kind of important, valuable, trustworthy, giving reason through causal conjunction. Causal conjunction it means kata hubung yang menyebabkan sebab akibat. So, thus, therefore, hence, okay, and another. And the last one is use passive sentence, because in this text you only use a present tense, so your passive sentence is only in form of present tense. Yeah. We only talk about the general language feature here. We don't talk a lot about the language feature, so we will study about it in the next meeting. Now, I also give the example here. Laptop as a student friend, it is the title. The text is conventionally student need book, pen, and additionally the blah 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 here. It is the opening remark. Students need mobile keyboard to record every presented subject easily. So it is the thesis. Of course, it will need more cost, but it will deserve for its function. It is the preview. Okay, this is the argument 1. First, modern school tend to apply fast transferring. It is as a point. And then next sentence is its elaboration. Argument 1, argument 2, and also reiteration or conclusion. I hope you can understand well my explanation. If you have some question or you still don't understand, I hope you can ask me in a blog. Don't chat me privately, because your friend will not know what did you ask to me. Okay. I close my explanation. See you in the next meeting, and I hope you can understand well what I said and what I explained today. Thank you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.